if if I s- if I stop this, if I stop with this story that is told by what I write, it's because I can't take it anymore. I'm being driven away by this fear or what's going on. I knew it. Someone's been following me the last couple of days, and I got no clue who he is or why me. Yesterday I walked to school, normal and all, and then I heard him. His shadowed voice called out for me. I turned around. The street was clear. No one. Just me. That's all. But this was a small town anyway. I kept thinking of the voice as the day went on. Where did it come from? Who was it? Well, that was until not long after I arrived at school. I was talking to some friends, then looked over to another group, and that was nearby, and there he was. I could hear the voice from before, and it was asking where I was. He had a grey hoodie jumper and darkened pants, sandy-coloured hair that was in a mess. He and I had a direct eye contact to each other until a friend near me grabbed my attention. Once my friend finished talking, I quickly looked back to where the figure in the grey hood was, and he had vanished. But it had only been barely a second because my friend asked where someone was. That was all I'd seen of him that day, but he still haunted me in other means. I had a piece of paper in my pencil case, and it had been blank up until today. Each class it gained some more to it. Stop. Stop it. Stop it, you. Stop it. You are. Stop it. You are mine. Stop it. You are mine now. Wait, what was stop it, you are mine now meant to mean? What is he after from me? This was really getting to me now, but that was it for yesterday. No one's safe, but was that because of how many people were with me from then on? Thought I must have been imagining things, so I thought to try and go to sleep early that night. Strangely, compared to every other time that I tried to go to sleep early, where I couldn't, this time I could. But I think I was in a trance this time because I ended up in a dream and I saw him, the figure that was wearing a grey hood. I thought to attack him, but I only greeted him like an old friend. We walked along the streets in my town and talked about people who died in our lives, and I was actually happy to bring it up. He talked about how most of his family had died. It was Christmas, and some light sparked the flame, but he didn't want to talk about the rest, and I also don't remember much of it now. Then he said, "I'm sorry, Jones, but this has got to end soon enough." He disappeared and left me to the sound of a train coming in from behind me. I didn't turn around, I just let the train through me, and the only people I saw were my friends, close ones, but also some I only had talked to once. Once the train had passed through me, I felt a massive pain for a few seconds until I jumped awake, yelled his name, Dyron, and I was panting. For the rest of today, until lunchtime, I was perfectly fine, but once lunch ended, I went to class and sat close to the window, because if I'm not interested in what's going on, I look out the window and daze off. The rest of the class had sat down and were talking quite loud compared to normal. After a moment or two of it, I had noticed a slight whisper that was quite distinctive to me, but it didn't seem like it was to anyone else. It sounded just like Dyron. He was whispering that it's time for my surprise. Soon enough. The teacher walked in and told everyone to be quiet, and so did the whisper that sounded like Dyron. At the end of the lesson, the bell rang and everyone walked to the hall for assembly. As I walked down the hallway, I thought I saw a blood trail leading into the hall from between two doors that both led outside. I put my bag down and walked in talking to my friend, and we didn't take much notice of the blood trail that I thought I'd seen. We sat down and assembly began. I felt a drip land on the tip of my nose. I wiped it and noticed it was red like how blood would be. I looked up and noticed a dead body hanging from the ceiling. I couldn't say anything though because my voice wouldn't let me. I looked around the roof and there were more. Some were in body bags and hung up, while others were without a body bag and showing the scars left on them, dismantled, disfigured, and without some limbs. And some of the scars on their bodies formed into a letter or two. I noticed the bodies showed a sentence out of the scars. They said, "Without our life, we are you." There were some bodies covered though in body bags, so maybe there were meant to be more words. Assembly had ended, as well as school, and there were pamphlets handed out for an excursion that might happen. I walked to the gates of my school and heard Dyron again. He asked if I'd liked his gift, or he wanted to know if there was anything missing from it. My brochure lit on fire, out of nowhere. I knew something was going on, and so I started to run. He chased me, but then vanished from where he was. And then next I saw him was now outside my window. He was tapping, wanting me to come back out. He said he was waiting for me.